Hey everyone, hi, and welcome to another weekly connection. So today we are here with our favorites of Lord Katumi and Lord Mahay and Saint Germain and many others, but they're leading. So just those three are leading, but everyone is here. We want to talk about a little bit of the backstory about what's going on and why this particular transitions happen all the time on many, many different planets. Not a big deal. Natural course of, running a year. Of course, the year is 52,000 years. Anyway, I get off track so easily. So here we are in this time, and we've been talking about change and needing to open ourselves up to the energy of what's going on the planet. So we want to do that. So Pat this time reminded me to do this. It's a good thing someone reminds me. All right, so we spray with the aura cleanse because that kind of gets any negativity, any schwiss off your aura, right? And it's really good to do that before you meditate. Actually, I do both these things before I meditate. I like them. And my chakra kit. Okay. So I rub my hands together, bring it up through my energy field, cup my hands together. Man, I love that. Take a deep breath in and allow yourself to connect heaven and earth and center yourself. A little more on that solar plexus. So we want to add more light. There's an unbounding amount of light, but the only thing that stops it is this dense energy and the duality that we live in. So in order to make our light world, as we're talking about, we need to suck in that light. And the ascension oil really helps you do that when you do it. I have a hard time staying focused when I'm doing it, when I'm doing this. So we are remembering who we are and why we have come here. So Earth, as I started to say, is a very unique planet. And I've been teaching this, I've been talking about transition since I was 10 years old. And I've been teaching about this transition since I was in my early 20s, I think, The problem is that we as human beings always think it's going to happen right now. And then by the time we get there, you're like, oh yeah, it's not going to happen. And that's where we are now. So there was this thing that occurred in the cosmos. Long time ago. I can't even translate time. You cannot. It's really difficult to translate time from celestial realms. And likewise, they have a hard time doing time to our realm. So there was an architectural flaw put into a newly created planet by the name of Earth. And that flaw was ego. That flaw now, because remember, originally humans were not affected by that because we weren't here. So it was originally just the higher level beings that it was intended for, in that it gave them free will and choice. Do you choose love or do you choose ego and self-service? And every single being on the planet, including all mortal forms, had to choose. It created, again, an expansion in the consciousness, because now there's a greater understanding when you have to choose the light or the dark, or the ego, or love. So in the beginning, so angels have 14 levels of ascension, right? in order to be a guardian angel, you have to have completed all of those levels of ascension. So we're not the only ones progressing in the cosmos. There are many types of being that are going through, different phases in their development. So originally, when this call was put out that everyone had to choose, we lost 1/3 of the seraphim. Dreadful, dreadful. The reason why that happened was because they had never known anything else. So they didn't know that they weren't going to like serving self or serving ego. And the whole thing was, I don't want to get into that part of it, but the whole thing is that, it looked more than it was. In other words, there's a lie there, in that if you accept the ego or self, then you're going to be better than if you went through this long process of ascension. But what is misunderstood is that process of ascension, as we are going through, is, I want to say delightful, in that it is unlike anything else. It's expanding and it's growing. Maybe they're the same word, but in other words, it's just this feeling. I don't know how to explain it. T, help me. It's a feeling that you get when you have a flower and you first start to see the bud, the bud. All right, you get excited that here comes a flower. Here comes a flower, and so when you see that bud, that's you. And it's so exciting to feel that opening of yourself to become the flower. So that's why we want these ascensions. Now, the seraphims didn't know that. They didn't know. And it didn't take long for all of them to, as I say, come back, go to rehab, and get back to work. So in the end, it was very few that we lost to self, to ego. So, excuse me. So that's why the earth is such an important place. And that dude you called Jesus made it, when he was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, that's when he solidified the existence of Earth, that no one could destroy her, because by destroying her, they would make the error forever. The error is just a plan to expand awareness and consciousness and up that vibration of light. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But in order to understand the light, you had to see the dark. Now you have a dichotomy. Now you have duality. So now we're at the point, because we're entering into the fifth dimension, where we do dissolve the duality, almost totally, that we now have to raise our vibration in order to reflect, right? In order to be radiating that light out and be the light and separate ourselves. It sounds weird, huh? How do you separate yourself from duality? But there's a feeling that you get, that you feel, here's your duality, and you feel yourself walk outside of that into oneness, and you feel that. So you actually separate from duality. It's very weird. But anyway, that's what we're trying to attain here. That's what we want. And in doing that, we want to push the light in ourselves and into the world, so that Earth and Mother can take a breath. All beings can now breathe. There's a saying in the Bible that one day the lion will lay down with the lamb. And for years I was studying, I hear that, and I'd be in religious class, and I go, I don't get it. I get it. You know what? They're not going to eat each other anymore. Eating is actually a very low vibration. There are other things that occur that are equally enjoyable, which I'm not going to get into now. But that was a devastating time. We call it when the air broke. And all the magic went away, you know. So we are going to raise ourselves above that level so that there is total peace on earth. How do we get there? Right there. Through your heart. There's no other way there. Through your heart. And in that way you take yourself and others to the fifth. So let's do it. Let's really bring in that energy. Let's really kick it so we can get it into ourselves and into the world. So we're going to take our ascension oil, 1 drop. It gets greasy in a hurry. I love this stuff. It knocks me out, actually. All right. And you're going to go, I put on the wrong finger. And you're going to go clockwise on your third eye. Just move your eyes up to your third eye. Good. Take a moment to breathe in that light and breathe in that light into your third eye. And then visualize that golden light coming from source all the way down, all the way through your body and into the earth to the mother. She smiles lovingly, happily at you. And you bring your energy further into the earth so that you and the mother are one. You are co-creating your existence. And then you bring it around your back. She brings it up with herself in it, back to source. And then you go round. Just go round and round with that golden light coming down the back and up front, and then up the back with the mother essence in it. And just let that kind of just simmer. There you go. And now this time when you bring it down, bring it up and let it waterfall out your crown. And it's going to stick to all aspects of your aura, every little nook and cranny. And we're going to start with the well of the mother, and we're going to feel that, saturate that, be that well with the mother that we know and we feel all existence. We feel all creatures, and we love all creatures. And then we go into our root chakra where our DNA is. And we're like, you know, I'm kind of tired of this 3D DNA. Let's shift that. And it is shifting in you. And that's why a lot of you are having ascension symptoms. Just give it more light. Give it more light. Push the light. And then you go to your sacral chakra, where you fill every part of you so that you're no longer dictated to. You know there is no right or wrong. You know there is only love. And when you're coming from that place of love, kindness, and compassion, there is only right action. You don't have to be told what to do. You know it. You don't have to tell others what the right way is. We know it. So that's our goal. And then we bring it up into conscious use of power, which sits over here between, above your navel and before your spleen. And then we fill that with light, because this is where we remove our conflicts. And there's an actual conscious use of power technique that I don't do in weekly connections, but I do have it on my website. And then we go into the solar plexus where we feel that power of love. And it's actually the only thing that exists. And then we go up to our liver and we light up our empathic shield so that we get better and better and better and better, stronger and stronger, clearer and clearer. And without judgment, we are able to dissolve so many things. And then right into your heart, where your heart just hums with that love. And when people look at you, that is what that light. And into your conscious intent. Because we are manifesting a loving and kind world. And into your throat, where that's what we show. Our intention is to be loving, kind, and compassionate at all times. If you have an oopsie moment, you just go, oops, oh well, and you get right back into it. Don't worry. And that throat chakra will start to express a 5D being and forget the 3D being. And you go into your third eye where you have no doubt that you are doing this job and this is the purpose of your life, no matter what else you're choosing to do. And then your crown chakra, where we just wear this lovely, lovely crown. And the telepathic notch that is glimmering and awakening as we are strong in the well of the mother, the empathic shield. And we can manifest through conscious intent. So feel that light radiate through you, out you, and out 18 inches. So that now we are the Johnny Light seed that we've intended ourselves to be. And we radiate that out and we make it strong and zizzy. And we let people munch and crunch all they want, that gold light. We make sure we keep enough up and we always get the biggest dose, first and biggest dose. So then we keep on going with that. And keep spreading that light. Because we all have hard times on this journey. Life is not without its obstacles. A master isn't someone who never has an obstacle. A master is someone who knows what to do when they do have one. All right, and you use any obstacle to move forward, to make you grow. So when you have an obstacle, you say, where am I? What do I need to do? How am I supposed to be growing? What is my message? Because remember, you're the co-creator. There's a reason for it. So bam it with light and pay attention. And now, with your empathic shield, you get to vicariously have experiences that you don't need to have. It's good. Now, wearing an empathic shield may also make you a little more sensitive. Okay. Ground. And don't watch shows of people shooting each other with guns and stuff, Choose what you put into your consciousness. You're doing a good job as a light seed. I want you to know that. It seems hard, but you'll look back on this with absolute love. And you'll be really glad you did it. All right. So I love you. Be sure to subscribe and like me, because social media makes us such needy people. I love you. See you next week.